Hello, everybody. Marcus Guiliano here. It's been a little while that I've been on my business fan page here. I apologize. Just set up the lighting properly. I apologize. I've been really busy lately. I'm going to talk about that. Apologize that I've lost some communications with my lives and my posts here on the Marcus Guiliano fan page, my business fan page. So I am, we're like in the week 10 or something with COVID here right now. And let me just check and make sure I'm on the right channel here. So, because again, I haven't done this in a while. I'll do Facebook Lives every day for my restaurant. Every single day I do a Facebook Live. I want to talk about a lot of things. I have a lot of things that I've been working on the last 10 weeks at the restaurant. I've been working on a lot of things the last 10 weeks. And I just want to give some updates right now on how the restaurant's doing and some marketing tips. I had a lot of time this morning on my run to really formulate the strategy that we've been putting forward to make our restaurant a success. So first off the bat, my restaurant's doing fantastic. The lockdown happened in the beginning of March. We are now towards the tail end. The 19th of May. So we're full 2 months in. I just want to report that my restaurant is doing fantastic. Sales are actually up versus what they were last year. But we're also changed a lot of things in the restaurant, a lot of things drastically. So I just wanted to get on here and report to you about that, because there's gonna be a lot more lives coming out every day and talking about the techniques that we're doing and all that kind of stuff. So if anybody's in the restaurant industry out there, you have questions for me, drop some questions, email me. I've had a lot of people that have been emailing me. And one of the main reasons I've not been on Facebook Live on my business channel, because I share tons and tons of free content. You go to 50mistakes.com, and there's tons and tons of content there for restaurateurs to use and let their business grow. Because I've been figuring it out myself. That was one reason. The second reason, we have coaching clients that I felt were more valuable for me to spend my time with our coaching clients, even though we didn't charge anybody through this whole time, and some clients are now coming back on board as paid clients. We didn't charge them, but I felt that my time was more valuable with them. They were paid clients for 6 months, 6 weeks, a year, however long. And I feel that my time was more valuable spent with them on the phone, talking to them, taking time out for them, than going on here and broadcasting everything. So I've been working through a bunch of different techniques. So the number one, I'm not going to go through much on this Facebook Live. I just want to basically just do a little intro, warm-up Facebook Live video, whether you're catching me on YouTube or Facebook. We're streaming in 2 different places right now. So even my Instagram was throttled down too, because I went all in on my restaurant. I've worked probably the hardest I have in many years at the restaurant, and I've got to say that my bank account shows for it right now. My bank account really shows for all the hard work that my wife and I have done, and I want to share all that. I mean, listen, folks, I have never had this much money in my bank account this time of the year, ever. And there's lots of reasons for that. I'm going to go over those, so stay tuned to this channel for a lot of things. First of all, the first rule that I go by is no negativity, right? No negativity. So it's a Grant Cardone sticker. Right before this happened, I was at 10X GrowthCon in Vegas. So I was able to be around a lot of amazing motivational business people and a lot of people in the crowd that we made friends with, and it was really great. And then when we came back into New York, I went right to New York City and did 3 days of speaking. And then as this is leading up to my beginning of my March and these 3 days of speaking, the food show actually was only about half in attendance, and a lot of vendors didn't show up, but there were still a lot of people there. So I was rocking and rolling right until we got back on the Monday, and then all of a sudden, like Tuesday, Wednesday, they said, okay, folks, this is it. New York, we're shutting you down. And we thought at first they were going to shut us down totally shut us down. And we were considered an essential business, so we were able to remain open for takeout. And there's a lot of techniques that we've done to create a viable business in the takeout economy and the curbside economy, and keep growing keep growing our business. And so I want to share a lot of rules within the next upcoming week, and we'll be back. We'll be sending out emails again and all that kind of stuff. So, but I just want to do a quick report back that my restaurant is rocking and rolling. We're busier than ever. At a certain point, until 2 weeks ago, my wife and I were working harder than ever. But now we've kind of laid back. We have more staff coming in. That's fantastic news, and we are systematizing everything. And the biggest thing that I think everyone needs to know here in the restaurant industry and any kind of business is that forever now, going forward, we're probably going to alter to a certain extent the way business is done. And if you're not willing to alter your product, your service, your mindset, you're probably going to go out of business. Now, I want to tell the tale of two restaurateurs, okay? And this is a tale I hear constantly. This is a true story, by the way. This is a very true story that I hear constantly over and over and over and over. So, a salesman told me this. Actually, one of my salespeople told me this. They go, Marcus, I've been watching you do this since day one. He goes, and I noticed your orders, like our liquor orders are through the roof, our beer orders are through the roof. The text message just came out between like the guy who cleans our tap lines and like 10, 12 other people in the restaurant industry. And he's like, I know you guys are probably slow or closed. I do want to get back in and clean your tap lines at least 2 weeks before we start the reopening process so everybody don't have to be bombarded at once. And I text him back right away. I'm like, come see me ASAP. Because I've been busy. I've been pouring lots of tap beers. I've been going through beer. I've been going through tons of cases of beer, canned beer, more than I ever have before. More product than ever before we're going through. And so I send them back in the group and say, come to me right away. And someone else goes, well, I'm closed right now, right? And they're like, man, folks, here's the one thing I want everybody to realize if you're in the restaurant industry, if you're a restaurateur. The same amount of people are still eating. The very same amount of people still need to eat. How you get food to them is what's going to separate you from your competitors. It's going to make you survive. If you think that you're going to close your restaurant for the last 8 weeks, close it for the next 6 weeks or 4 weeks, however long the government says that it needs to shut down for, then all of a sudden click the lights on when it's time to open time and think you can do everything the same, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. Your business will die because first of all, you're going to have a certain age group of people or a certain mindset of people that are just waiting to go out right now. They don't care. I'm going to go out. I'm not going to get sick. I'm going to go out. I haven't been one of those people. All right, just let me out. Let me out of here. I want to get out. All right, there's a lot of us. There's also the other side of the coin. I'm not saying which is right or which is wrong. I'm just telling you where I fit in. There's the other side of the coin. People are going to say, I don't want to go out. I don't want to get sick. I'm interested in my health. I don't want to get sick. I don't have enough confidence to go sit at a restaurant and be served by somebody, to be, my food's prepared in the kitchen, to be served by somebody, to sit next to somebody, to, walk in the front door and push the doors that everybody's been touching. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't know if it's going to be 50-50, how this is going to be split. But right there, those people used to eat with you on a regular basis. Those people are not going to be in your dining room on a regular basis. Those people are going to be the ones that are going to call you to do takeout. And if you haven't perfected how to do takeout yet in your restaurant in the last 8 weeks, then something's wrong. If you've been closed the last 8 weeks and think you're going to open up and be on par with the other restaurants that have perfected takeout, perfected curbside, doing online cooking classes, doing online virtual tastings, doing online music events, doing all these things, then you're wrong and you're going to be passed up very, very easily. That's the reality of what's going to happen. There's people right now perfecting. There's restaurants that are open right now that are perfecting all of this right now. And when lights go back on as normal, 50% of your people, just a random number, 50% of your people are going to still stay at curbside, are still going to stay home delivery, still going to want to drink at home from the stuff you're providing them, are still going to want to eat and still will eat, but they're going to eat the food that's easy to access. People are going to deliver to them, people that can pick curbside, things they can order online quickly, not have to go through a process and have to adjust to your learning curve when it reopens. So if you're a restaurant out there and you could think you can open safely, then I would suggest you get in and start rocking and rolling, because other restaurants, your competitors, are doing that and they will bury you when that comes out. So, but the thing you need to understand right now, if you're in the restaurant industry right now and you're not doing good, it's not because people don't want to eat. People want to eat. People are getting food still. People are going to the grocery store infrequently. People are getting deliveries. People are going on Amazon. People are getting deliveries to their house. People are getting prepared meals. People are going for curbside pickup. They're still walking into a restaurant and picking up food at the counter and taking it out. The same amount of people are still eating. So if your restaurant's doing less than it was before, it's because you have not adjusted. That's the harsh reality of this. And again, if you think things are going to be the same, they're not. So you have to adjust. One of the most critical mistakes that any restaurant can make, any business owner, any restaurateur, one of the most critical restaurant mistakes that anybody can make is not changing and adapting. I was listening to the guy from Morton's and Fertitta. Tillman. I was listening to Tillman in a podcast or something. I was listening to him somewhere, and he talked about how he bought Morton's Steakhouse. Morton's Steakhouse was an iconic steakhouse that was from the 70s, right? And he said up until 2011, when he bought that, it was like walking into a 1970s steakhouse. Bow tie, dark lighting, all this kind of... He said everything was still done how it was done when they opened up. When they opened up in the 70s, that was fine. 80s, questionable. 90s, okay. So you got to make changes. 2000s, you're losing ground by then. You're done. 1990s, you're losing ground. He said that all these other steakhouses opened, Del Frisco's, all these other steakhouses opened, and Morton's had like 70-some locations when he bought them. All these other steakhouses opened and were surpassing Morton's because the one thing they failed to do, the critical mistake they failed to do, was change. So he went in there, bought the restaurant at a good price, undervalued, changed things, moved forward, and here we are today. Morton's is a big success, and it's carried on. Tillman Fertitta, by the way, owns a Houston basketball team and owns 600 restaurants. I was listening to one of his podcasts or something, and he was being interviewed or something, and he was talking about that most critical mistake. Folks, you're being forced to change right now. You're being forced straight up to change your business model. And if you think you're going to open and it's not going to, and you're going to be remain the same, you're dead wrong. Your business, you need to change. People are relying upon you, your staff, your family, the community. People are relying upon you. You need to get in gear and get that rocking and rolling. Now is also a good time. If there was anything that you were afraid to do in the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, because you didn't think the market could handle it, as far as whatever it is. If you didn't think, I can't do this because people are used to this. Now is a perfect time to blame COVID and say, hey, we no longer offer this dish because, it's too labor intensive. We had to cut our menu back because... I hear a lot of this from a lot of restaurants. I need to cut my menu back, but I don't know what to cut back. Okay, here's the perfect timing. Your business is probably not going to be what it was before. That's just reality for a lot of people. You need to save labor, so you have less staff. Less staff means a safer environment, less people in the kitchen, right? So these are all great stepping stones to creating a brand new menu for your restaurant and really changing when you open the door. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to a whole tapas style menu, changing dishes. I'm lowering my prices, going from a $30 steak to a $19.99 steak. I'm going from a $30 salmon to a $15, $16 salmon. I'm rearranging my whole menu, and it's a perfect opportunity, something that I was personally afraid of the last few years to do, but I knew it was the right direction to go. But I just said, how are my consumers going to handle this? And now it's all about balancing budgets, workforce, safety, and getting people, food in a timely fashion. So for me, that's the direction we're going in. So I would think if you're watching this video and you're a restaurateur, what's the one big thing you can start doing to get you out of your comfort zone? Things change that you never wanted to do before, that now is the time to make this change. And then think about it and start executing it, all right? That's it for today. My restaurant, Aroma Time Bistro, I do a Facebook Live every single day. My wife does the one every single day. Here's the one thing that you ever need to understand as well. If you're working harder in your business now, and you're doing things that you weren't doing before that are working, this is the key. If you're doing something now in your restaurant or in any business that you were not doing pre-COVID, that is a success right now, once your restaurant opens again, you need to keep doing that. Do not stop that. People are going to still relying. Like, for example, my wife does a Facebook Live every single day, 4 o'clock, happy hour with Jamie. That's what it's called, happy hour with Jamie, 4 o'clock every day. She started that when this thing happened. Now, the nice thing is, she gets a massive amount of views on there. She gets a lot of comments. She gets a ton of engagements. all right? She's gotten very comfortable on the camera and doing this, and she's set up this ritual of doing it, and it brings in a lot of business. People comment on her live every single day. Those are at 4 o'clock. They comment every single day. Now, when we reopen, she'd be stupid, I'd be stupid to stop that practice. That'd be foolish to say, I'm not going to do that anymore. It's proven to work right now, and chances are it's going to work in the future. It might need to be changed or modified or altered. We don't know that yet. But there's no plans of stopping that because it's working right now. We send an email out every single day to our guests. Every single day we send an email out. When we don't send an email out, it's 1 o'clock right now. When you don't send an email out by 1 o'clock, people are calling, where's your daily email? Where's your daily email? Before I send out 2 emails a week, sometimes 3. Guess what we're going to do when we reopen? There's going to be an email that goes out a lot more than 2 or 3 times a week, maybe not 7 days a week, but we're going to find a compromise where we're hitting them up in their inbox. All the people that were tired of listening to me in an email unsubscribed already. We barely get any unsubs, barely any, because that happened the first week. The first 2 weeks, if you start bombarding them, you'll get your fair share of unsubscribers. They weren't listening to your message anyway, folks. They weren't listening. They're going to unsubscribe at some point. So, but the people that are now expected to hear your message all the time, the ones opening up your email, those are the ones giving you business, those are the people that you're making money on, not the people that unsubscribed. But the thing is, if you're not sending the email out, you're not making money like you were before. So, and again, I have a whole thing on our academy, Restaurant Growth Secrets University, on how to segregate your list. Because again, you don't want to hit the whole list every day. You don't want to hit the whole list every day. You segregate so your open rates are higher, and the people that you want to talk to are listed, or the people that want you to talk to them are getting your message. All right, so that's how that works. All right, so all right, folks. 50mistakes.com, Restaurant Growth Secrets University. My book is on there. We've sold several books throughout the course of this COVID. We're shipping books out. People are still buying it because restaurateurs are saying, how can I keep my business going, rock and roll? There's a lot of good things in this book that I still implement today. I talk about in the Academy online, Restaurant Growth Secrets University. I talk about segmenting your list, how crucial it is segmenting your list, and I believe it's in here, segmenting your list, and I've done many videos on that. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.